Good morning, everyone. Dan Bates, President and CEO, Greater Hamilton Chamber of Commerce, and we are so happy you could join us once again today on Coffee and Conversations. We have a really interesting topic with some terrific people, so you will hear from them in just a little bit. I will introduce them when we get closer to their presentation. Anyway, so you know who I am. We're going to do self-introductions in just a second. I guess, Laura, you're going to head that up. For those of you on the not LinkedIn, what I'm trying to think of, Zoom, sorry, you can ask questions as we go along. If you are on Facebook Live, type in your questions and Tiffany will repeat those to the speakers so they can answer them for you. So we're going to be having a really exciting conversation this morning about workforce and workforce development here in Hamilton and the surrounding area. So Laura, you want to do self-introductions?
Yep, I can do that. Hey everybody, I'm Laura Merrill with the Greater Hamilton Chamber. Glad you all could be with us today. We will go around. Please tell me your name and what company you're with. Lisa, we'll give you a second there. You got any audio back yet? No? All right. Well, that's Lisa Sandlin with EmpowerWorks. She teaches people how to own their life, health, and wealth through education, design, and financial services. So thank you for being with us today, Lisa. Steve?
Hey, good morning, everyone. Steve Wayne, Miami University Regionals. I'm in employer relations, so I help employers fill their employment needs with our students.
Wonderful. Glad to have you with us. Nicole, welcome.
Hi, my name is Nicole Sacker, and I'm a recruitment specialist with Accuracy Now Language Services. We're an interpretation service in the Cincinnati area.
Great. Glad to have you with us today. Rachel.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rachel. I'm with Envision Partnerships and I lead the Healthy Hamilton Coalition. So I'm not in the business or education realm, but I do work with the youth a lot and just am excited to hear about what employment opportunities we have. So glad to be here.
Glad to have you with us, Rachel. Nancy.
Good morning. I'm Nancy O'Neill with the Greater Hamilton Chamber of Commerce.
And Tiffany.
Good morning, I'm Tiffany Grubb, also with the Greater Hamilton Chamber of Commerce.
All right, then everybody else is with the presenters today. So Dan, I will let you kind of take that away and let everybody do their introductions.
Okay, thanks, Laura. Once again, I promise you an exciting discussion on workforce development, and that's going to start in just a minute. We're going to introduce Jeanne Pope, HR with the city first. And then we have Jessica Harp in economic development with the city. And we also have Chris Connell from Hamilton City Schools. Chamina is not able to join us today from Miami. That makes up the group of four. It's been very exciting to be working with this group over the past few months about workforce development. And I know that Jeanne's going to start with kind of an update on CHIPS, an award-winning program, first year out. That she was instrumental in creating and how that has developing into a much broader spectrum of workforce development across ages and groups in Hamilton and the surrounding area. So with that, Jeanne, it's yours.
Oh, there we go. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dan. We have been making leaps and bounds with the CHIPS program, which stands for the Citywide Hamilton Internship Program. It is a program that focuses on young persons of color, ages 16 through 30. We have done this via partnership and collaboration with many of the organizations here in the city of Hamilton. And I'm so glad that the City Hamilton organization has actually been a wonderful partner and supportive entity in the entire process. We have served over 45 young people. We are now in our 5th cohort. We have contributed over $128,000 back into the community via wages for these young people. We've set them up with networks. We've got them involved with community organizations. We have several of our individuals that have full-time positions with organizations here in the city of Hamilton. But in addition to that, they are more invested in the success of Hamilton, which is what we wanted. And then bonus, They are bringing their talents and their creative minds and innovative visions here to forward the live, work, and play mantra that we have here in the city of Hamilton. So I think we've done a tremendous job. And let me extend a hearty thank you to the Greater Hamilton Chamber of Commerce, because from day one, Dan Bates et al. Has said, yes, we will support you in this endeavor. And that has allowed us, so thank you, Dan and crew, and that has allowed us to come up with another, what I think is an innovative workforce development plan. And this proposal will be for everyone. We have a couple of different partners on here. Chris Connell, and he's representing Hamilton City School District, and then Jessica Harp is assisting us with obviously the formation of the proposal, but also she brings the talented group of our veterans to light. So I'd like to go ahead and share my screen here if I can. Let me do this really quickly. Let me see if I can maneuver today. Can everyone see my screen at this point?
We can.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so we have come up with an amazing idea. And again, it's a collaboration. I think in this day and time, we have decided collectively that working together is so much better than working apart or in silos. Brandon Sarber is famous for saying, many hands make light work. And I think he heard that from maybe Kathy Klink. So again, a collaborative effort. So we're embarking on a new workforce development plan, which is going to be called potentially Hamilton Works. We're still working on the name, but it is, our mission is going to be to establish a collaborative network that provides insight, direction, and innovation to organizations. And it seeks out individuals to fulfill their employment needs in the Butler County region. So this program is for everyone. Now, initially we'll be beginning with our youth. We already have inroads with them, and then our veterans. We want to focus on those two groups initially, but this program is for anyone that is interested in working in the city of Hamilton. And we are currently building the infrastructure. I'm going to let Chris talk to you in a moment about his successes with our youth population. Some of the areas that we have available to us here in the city of Hamilton are arts and theater, culinary, education, environmental health and safety. In talking with a lot of the organizations and groups, what we found is that people here in the city of Hamilton do not know or understand the wide breadth of employment opportunities that we have. So we have everything from biotech to local government administration. So we run the gamut, and we are really looking forward to promoting the variety of options that we have. So not only can you make a living in your choice or your area of interest, but you can make a good living, okay? Our target audience is everyone. And so before I go a little bit deeper into that, I'd like Jessica Harp, if you wouldn't mind just giving some information about the veterans and why we are seeking them out. And then Chris, if you could follow up with some brief successes that you've had with the young folks. Jessica?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having us on, and thank you for making the veterans an important part of our community. I think the biggest thing that, we're trying to bridge the gap between transitioning veterans in varying stages coming out of the military and getting into our workforce. We know that they bring a great deal of assets to the workforce that they're in because of all the ethos that they pull out of the military while they're there. Their work ethic, their ability to adapt to adversity, and their dedication to the mission. We're working with a program called the Catalyst. We're working with a multitude of people. But right now we've been connecting with the Catalyst, which is like an upskilling and education connecting avenue for veterans to get into different fields, but really dedicating themselves to boots to boardroom is the kind of the idea of all that. We're also working with the Veterans Commission, the Butler County Veterans Commission, to help connect us to veterans in the community. These veterans, he told me actually on Friday that he meets with at least 5 veterans a week that are in need of a job. But because of our barriers, writing a resume isn't as easy when you're going from artillery to city planning or things like that. So kind of helping veterans in that transition. We've also recently connected to the State Veteran Services Director in Workforce Development, which is a really exciting new development. Right now we're working with him to say, this is our program, where can you help us? What are we missing? So it's an exciting new program that we can, and service that we can provide to our community. Ohio has the 5th largest veteran population in the United States. So it's important that we are utilizing them and bringing them and lifting them up in our working community.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jessica. Appreciate that. Chris, we'd love to hear your some of the successes that you have. And then once Chris finishes, I will give you all some information on who we're working with and how the program will work. Chris?
All right, thanks, Jeanne. So I'm the coordinator of community outreach and alumni relations for the Hamilton City Schools. It's a brand new position. I started in August. I report to the superintendent, and the goals that he has set so far, we are concentrating on the community outreach portion, and in particular, working to get students who are interested in working with local businesses to find jobs for them. So far, since August, I've probably visited with 50 local businesses, and asking what skills that they are looking for to fill some of their employment needs. And what I'm finding is there's a lot of functions that can be done by high school students, and I've been talking with the local businesses to take the requirement of a high school diploma off of those job descriptions that really don't need that. And been fairly successful so far. We have targeted from our freshmen all the way to our seniors. And so far, since August, I have placed 22 students in businesses around town. And what I've been talking to the local businesses about is that we need to give, as Jeanne alluded to, we need to give these students a taste of what is available in their backyard. 98% of these kids, I guarantee, couldn't name 10 companies that are local. And so it's very important that we get them an opportunity to see what's out there before they graduate and feel like they need to move away to find a job. As Jeanne also said, I have partnered with now the city and Butler Tech and the Chamber. And so now when I go into a company, instead of being closed because I've only got high school students, I now have the whole population to say, well, we can maybe fill that with a veteran, we could fill that with a community member, we could fill that with someone in our CHIPS program. It's in the works, but it's going to be wonderful.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much, Chris. I'll go ahead and share again. So let's see. Can everyone see my screen again? Good. Thank you. So some of our partners are the City of Hamilton, Greater Hamilton Chamber of Commerce. We have support from the Hamilton Community Foundation, obviously Hamilton City School District. Chamina Curtis, who is currently a lecturer at Miami Regionals, is also part of the program. So she brings in a different student base at Miami Regionals. And then we have, of course, as Jessica said, Butler County Veterans Service Commission and the additional partnerships that we've made inroads with veterans. And then, of course, one of the greatest staples in our community is Ohio Credit Union. They are always, I think, on the forefront of doing what's good, right, and healthy for the city of Hamilton. So we appreciate them. There are many other companies. This is just a short list of some of the folks that we're working with. But what we're looking to do is to change the fact or the database that we have uncovered. So we have like 15,000 people that come into our city to work, which is great. We want to increase that. But 23,000 of our residents work outside of the city of Hamilton or Butler County. We want to increase that number, or excuse me, we want to decrease that number and increase it here in the city of Hamilton. And then we do have only 4,600 residents thus far. And again, these are 2018 numbers. They've adjusted a bit. That live and work. So our deliverables are to try to change these numbers, this information, about 3% over the next 5 years. We want to give ourselves attainable goals and certainly surpass them. So before we get to questions, I want to just jump into how is this kind of all going to work. I'll stop sharing. So we are collectively going out and talking to community members at different events at the schools. We'll be having workshops and symposiums for us to get out the information once we have, solidified our foundation and our recruitment work and our advertisements that we're going to be sending out. So we're looking to launch May, June-ish. And then we will have a number, a space, a website for people to contact us to. We will have an assessment for people to see what their basic skills are. But our niche is going to be not that we're just connecting people and jobs. We're going to have a buffer in there of support. So if people need to figure out transportation, if people need to figure out how to assimilate into a culture, if people need to have a mentor, someone that helps them navigate that culture, we are going to be in the midst of having that support created. There are folks, as Jessica said, that don't have a resume that shows their transferable skills from active duty service to civilian life. As Chris imparted, there are young people that don't even know the multitude of companies that we have out here that will keep our young people interested and our city vital and alive. And we really want to put forth the effort to do that. So again, we will have an entry point for individuals to contact us. We will have a support team to figure out, usher, and help people through the process. And then we will have an aftercare. We want to be able to follow up with individuals. How's it going? How are you? Because it's great to place someone in a position, but we want to solidify or increase retention for companies, because companies will tell you it is exhausting continually trying to find new recruits and then onboarding. That's a lot of time and money. So our goal is to kind of take, those question marks out of the process, provide them with great, solid people that are looking forward to the employment experience, whatever that is. Okay. So now Chris, Jessica, and I will take questions. And thank you for your time.
I have a question. I'll start it out.
Yes, sir.
What do you think is the biggest challenge with moving forward with the initiative? I know you have some clear goals you'd like to accomplish. What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge?
Well, funding is usually the largest challenge. We do have partnerships with the city and with several other entities, but ensuring that we have solidified a good financial base is helpful for us. We'd love for companies to take a look at what we're going to be providing and then investing in that process. So that is one of the challenges that we have.
And another one for me is getting the word out to these high school students, getting them to see the advantages of solidifying a job now while they're in school, matching up their interests with which company that they might be interested in, getting them to see these companies, get a preview of these companies, whether it's with a video of the company's commercial, something to, in the words of Jerry Maguire, help me help you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think veterans kind of come to the table with a unique set of speed bumps, you know. It's hard to sometimes draw the veterans out of the community, and the language barrier between the employees, that being, you know, those of veterans, and the, you know, HR and president of these companies, and seeing that transferable skills between the military and the workforce and getting those veterans to see that in themselves. That's what the programs are designed to do. But being able to transition those skills into the workforce is, we are lucky to have amazing people that have experience and have developed ways to help facilitate this relationship in veterans, but it makes it no less difficult to begin that journey.
And Dan, if it's all right with you, I'd like to ask if companies are interested in what we are embarking upon. I'd love for them to reach out to you directly. You do have a direct line to some amazing individuals. So if that would be okay to do that, to direct them to you for the moment.
I'll agree that would be wonderful, Jeanne.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So if anybody needs to contact Dan, it's Dan Bates at the Greater Hamilton Chamber. You can email him at dan@hamilton-ohio.com, and I'll put that in the chat too in case anyone needs it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So we are, you'll be hearing us all around Hamilton and Butler County, you know, touting what we think are going to be the great successes of the program. And we certainly are appreciative of everyone's time today. Thank you so much. Lisa, I got your comments. We'll be reaching out to you ASAP. Thank you so much.
So Jeanne, I guess what kind of things, if I'm a business and I'm thinking about participating in this program, what kind of things do you think some businesses might have questions about that you've encountered so far that you can share?
Certainly. One of the things are the age limits, what kind of positions that they would have open and available. So we want to know what your employment needs are, what the positions are, what you're looking for. Sometimes what we take a look at are the job descriptions that companies have and seeing if they accurately explain to the public what they're needing, because sometimes the language of a job description can be challenging. Also, organizations that are able to support our individuals will be aiding. So just knowing that we can have a great line of communication to their HR department would be super helpful, so that we could really work in conjunction with what they're needing. Does that answer your question?
That's wonderful, Jean. Yes. And I guess just some of the things about what all of you encountered along the way, and maybe with Chris, since you've been able to work from a different age group than maybe some of these businesses were traditionally looking for, maybe what things have businesses learned about themselves or been able to change up a little bit to bring in some younger employees.
We've had had success with specifically Kettering Hospital. They took a look at their job descriptions and have changed 4 or 5 descriptions to, you know, do you need a high school diploma to deliver meals to a patient's room? No, you know, but it was automatic, as every company is just, you know, high school diploma required. And that was knocking everybody out. So we've had successes there. We've placed a couple students. The other thing is I sent out a Google form of your skills and your interests. And remarkably, we had like 220 responses, and about 190 of those are 14, 15, and 16-year-olds that want to work. And not only did they answer the survey, they emailed me directly saying, you know, Mr. Connell, I'd really like to work. Can you help me get a job here? Or I've applied at Walmart, or, you know. So it would behoove us, the younger, the better, that you start getting them interested in working and going to school, that becomes a way of life. And that, you know, when I've talked to these 14 and 15-year-olds, said every job that you have is adding to your resume. Every job, no matter what job the job is, you will learn a skill that will help you in your next job. And the ones that were kind of discouraged that there's not as many jobs out there for a 14-year-old or a 15-year-old, I said, well, you can look at it the other way, is that the advantages you have higher than a senior right now is when you do find a position, you're going to add several different positions onto your resume by the time that you're a senior. Whereas a lot of these seniors, this is the first time that they're working. So yeah, getting the companies to really take a look at what they can utilize our young workforce is a challenge, but it's a definite need.
I will add on to that. Some of the things that companies have reached out to us have been about maintaining good relations with different communities. They're not always able to tap into communities of color, or their employees have logistical problems. So, you know, finding, you know, babysitters or transportation. We have a myriad of companies that handle those challenges, and we just need to be able to connect them appropriately. Or critical thinking skills, you know, how to deal with challenging situations when you get into them. We're so used to using social media to connect sometimes, the younger folks can be, that when you're having these face-to-face obstacle opportunities, I will say, it can be a difficult hurdle or a difficult impediment. And we want to figure out ways to help them through that so they don't get frustrated and quit, or things of that nature. So again, we're trying to focus on helping companies with not only recruiting, but maintaining their workforce. So.
Yeah, I think all that's great. I think especially when you're getting those high school students, you know, those students could end up having a job at any of those companies for a lifetime potentially, you know, learning a lot of new skills. I'm going to read Lisa's comment here since she's on quiet time. She says, thank you to Jeanne, Jessica, and Chris. I love that youth are becoming a focal point for Hamilton with Hamilton Works, Healthy Hamilton, and the 17 strong One Hamilton Youth and more. I just want to echo that we need to work together to best serve them and the next generation of the wonderful city we all love. Youth generally are looking for opportunities like this here locally, but like you all said, many don't know where to look or begin. I think this is awesome. Thanks for all you do. Oh, sorry, that was Rachel. Yeah, that's what I said. I said, Lisa, you're on mute. Yeah.
I'll share one more success, if you don't mind. Recently, I heard that there, and I won't name the companies, but there was a company local that needed welders. And I was able to find one of our students in the Butler Tech Welding Career Tech program, matched the student up with the company. The company loved the student, but then didn't hire because needed a full-time position and they wouldn't hire part-time positions. So I just reached out to another company that I knew needed welders as well, and they were doing backflips to get this young man. So first company, just by not being flexible, lost somebody. And his specific, it's not a, you know, not just a hobby of doing welding. His specific objective on his resume is to continue his training, continue his knowledge of welding, and make a career out of it. And this company could possibly be his career.
So are you finding that employers are having to maybe think out of the box a little bit and be a bit more creative with some of these positions for people? Because especially if you got a high school student, I mean, they're already in high school, they can't work 40 hours a week.
Right. That's, you know, every business that I go into, I try to share the advantage to them. Why grab this person right now? So, well, a lot of our juniors and seniors have enough credits to graduate with the exception of like math and English. So they come in and they can do their math and English and then have early release for the rest of the day to go work for your company. And the nice thing about that is it's an easy way for you to get a taste of, you know, how this employee is going to do, see how they function with your company. Maybe it's somebody that you want to continue full-time after they graduate. But also the nice thing is, you know, like I said, they're taking these 2 classes, going to work for you, and they're coming back the next morning to take the classes, but they're also telling their buddies about the experience that they've had with your company. And then other ones are going to want to work for your company. And, you know, so the word of mouth advantage to put them in now. You know, everybody's trying to figure out why there's so many openings. You know, the definition of insanity, you know, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome. The businesses need to take a look at operating in a different way. Like I said, not blocking the student by putting a high school diploma needed. Give these students a chance. And we've got a lot of talented students. The other thing is, and again, I won't mention the company, but kind of the reason this person did not want to have a high school student is he used the word that he said, we don't have time to babysit these kids. And I think that people, you know, back from my day in school, you know, you looked at it as the industrial arts course, and these are the classes that, you know, that you take when you can't do something else. And but that's not not the case. These kids are extremely talented. They're programming robots and doing engraving work on laser works and welding and carpentry. We've got a lot of skillful students that if we don't change our ways, a lot of surrounding states are going to enjoy the benefits.
Facts.
So that's my soapbox.
I do want to point out, though, although we're concentrating on our veterans and our youth right this very moment, this program will be for everyone within the city of Hamilton. So we want to ensure that people know that we're going to do our level best to advertise, to communicate the opportunities that the companies have here. We've been discussing some opportunities with Spooky Nook. You know, they're coming in with quite a few positions. I mean, I definitely suggest people, if you're looking for interesting ways to work, to go onto their website. And then Seika is looking for individuals as well. So we have all these great new companies that are coming in. And the thing about it is getting in on the ground floor, right? If you're looking for a career or advancement, or you're looking to get into management, it's a great way to start right now while they're forming, you know, or while they're taking a great foothold in our city, is to get in now, see what the company is and does, and, you know, if there's a great beneficial relationship there, and then helping your career move forward. I mean, there's all different. 80 Acres has, you know, human resources positions and IT positions. It's not just farming, but in their farming entity, there are management positions that are available. I mean, so that's just, and they're growing leaps and bounds. We have a couple of our CHIP students that are full-time there right now. So, I mean, it's just an amazing partnership, and, you know, there's no reason why other folks can't get out there. And I challenge the notion that people don't want to work. I think people want to work somewhere where they're valued. And I think that's what COVID has really shown us, that people are going to be selective about the entities where they give, 40 to 60 hours a week, and we all should, I love the fact that the city of Hamilton values the contributions that I make. And so, I become more invested, and that's just my personal story, so imagine, and I'm sure everyone feels like this from time to time, if people are listening to you, if you feel that your contributions are valued, that makes you want to invest more time, more effort, be a better part of the team, be the change you want to see, so to speak, just to be completely cliche, so, I mean, I do think that's an important part for us to acknowledge, and whether it's culinary service or, again, biotech, you have to be able to have a voice and a contribution. So I think that's another thing that companies should really take a look at. Who are they giving space to, and how are they doing it?
I think, Jeanne, that's a good point. When we've talked about this a little bit before, what we're really talking about is culture. And I know with my executive committee, we had a whole conversation about what is the number one thing in maintaining employees and finding new employees. And the only thing they agreed upon, aside from salary and flexibility, all that other stuff, was culture. And the companies that have a positive culture, and I see where Nicole put in where employees can contribute value, that's a big thing now. They not only want flexibility, they want to feel like they're part of the equation, they're a valuable piece. And if an employer is not making their people feel that way, they're going to go somewhere where the culture is positive. I just got a call from Rick McGrath from the Journal, and he's doing a story, and this is just where we are. We're already challenged for workforce, and you have Carvana opening in, I think that's Monroe or Trenton, out in the area. They're hiring 1,000 employees immediately. So, and they are known for having a great culture. So, the employers, they're going to leave places where they're not happy and go to a place where they think they're going to be happy. So, I know, Chris, you referred to this. It concerns me. We have some employers who are very good at shifting, since COVID and such a vast shift in what the workforce is currently looking for. And I'm just kind of putting it out there, the employers who are not looking at being flexible and shifting into the new world as it is today, they are going to be in severe trouble because they're not going to have enough employees to run their business.
Absolutely.
And Steve Wayne added, and where the company's values align with the employees' personal values. I guess another question is, so I mean, I know Chris is out working with the schools. How are you all finding your applicants for this, the employees that want to go out and work? And how would they contact you if there's someone who would like to find out some more information about your program?
That is a great question. So Chris has, for the students, Chris has his direct number and information. I'm going to request, if people are interested about the program, that they contact the Greater Hamilton Chamber of Commerce, and we'll be able to connect with the companies directly. You can also call me here at the City of Hamilton, and it's Jeanne.Pope at hamilton-oh.
This is Dan.
.gov. And so if we can put that, I'll put that up in the comments as well, so people can have that. But Chris, if you want to give your information, and Jessica, if you'd like to give your information as well.
Yeah, so I'm working more specifically with veterans, but again, we're all one team. So anything, any additional requests or anything, my email is jessica.harp, H-A-R-P, papa, jessica.harp at hamilton-oh.gov. It never changes. The phonetics. And then my phone number is 513-785-7189. That's my direct line. So anybody can feel free to contact me there, especially employers that are interested in how they can get veterans on board and more readily available for employment in their company. I'm happy to also connect everyone to resources to kind of show the assets that veterans can bring to the community and to a company. There's incredible, data and statistics on veterans in the workforce. So,
And my email address is cconnell@hcsdoh.org. And my direct line is 513-887-5012.
And again, I'll add Dan's info. So that's Dan Bates at Greater Hamilton Chamber of Commerce. And he's Dan at hamilton-ohio.com. And you can give him a call at on his work number is 513-454-5066. And that's his direct line. So any other questions for the panel today? I think you all have done an amazing job. A lot of great information here. We just need to get this out to a lot more people. So hopefully they will be watching on Facebook and getting back in touch with us. We will be back in 2 weeks, March 8th. So Tuesday, March 8th will be our next coffee. And we have Jordan Wogenstall with Cincy SEO sharing with us about the importance of search engine optimization for your business. I can't wait to hear all of what he has to share, because That's how you get the word out there. If people can't find you, they can't find you. SEO is incredibly important for everyone. So any last words from anyone on the panel? No, you all gonna be quiet? Okay. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you all in a couple weeks. Bye,
Thank you so
everybody.